I want to ask you one question. Before you answer, think about a significant purchase you have made in the last few months. Clothing, technology, equipment, a bag. Whatever comes to mind first. Here is the question. Did you want it? Or did you want people to know you had it? Take a moment with that. Because if you are completely honest, for some purchases, the answer is the second one. And that difference between genuinely wanting something and wanting to signal that you have it is quietly costing freelancers $250,000 in future wealth. Welcome to Freelancer Retirement Lab. I am a professional with years of personal finance experience. I started this channel after watching my daughter's creative community earn real income without the financial tools to protect and grow it. This channel translates personal finance knowledge into the language of the freelance economy. Subscribe now. New videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Why this question hits harder for freelancers. The pressure to signal success through spending is a universal human tendency. But for freelancers, it carries an extra dimension that salaried employees rarely experience. When you work for a company, your employer signals status on your behalf. The firm's reputation, the job title, the corporate card at dinner. When you work for yourself, you are the signal. Your appearance, your equipment, your workspace, your online presence, all of it becomes your professional brand. And the pressure to spend in ways that communicate competence, success, and credibility is constant. The cruel irony is this. The freelancer with the premium equipment, the designer workspace aesthetic, and the expensive wardrobe, but no retirement account and no emergency fund, looks successful. The freelancer with the modest setup and a fully funded solo 401k building toward $500,000 is successful. These are not the same thing. And the gap between them is built one purchase at a time, each one individually defensible, collectively devastating to long-term wealth. Let's go through the numbers. Let me show you what this costs. Research on freelancer spending patterns suggests the average freelancer spends approximately $200 to $400 per month on what personal finance practitioners call status purchases. Items bought not for their functional value, but for their perceived signal value. At $300 per month in redirected status spending, invested in a solo 401k at 7% annual return over 25 years, the future value is approximately $243,000. Not $300 per month, $243,000. The equipment upgrade that was only marginally better than the existing one. The workspace accessory that photographed well but added no functional value. The outfit bought for a client meeting that was never worn again. Together, over a professional lifetime, these purchases cost $250,000 in future wealth. I am not suggesting never spending money on enjoyment. I am suggesting knowing why you are making each purchase. Here is the 3-category framework that professional financial planners use to evaluate discretionary spending. Every non-essential purchase falls into one of 3 categories. Functional, you need it. It solves a real problem or delivers clear professional value. The value is in what it does, not what it signals. Buy it with confidence. Joyful, you genuinely enjoy it for its own sake, not because of what anyone else thinks. A meal you savor privately, a book that absorbs your attention, a creative hobby that gives you deep personal satisfaction. Buy these. They are the point of earning money well. Performative. You want people to know you have it. You are spending money to manage someone else's perception of you. That person may not even be paying attention. The 3rd category is the one that quietly destroys wealth. The practice. Before any non-essential purchase above a threshold you set, pause and ask which category this is. If the honest answer is performative, redirect that money to your solo 401k or emergency fund instead. What is the freelance-specific trap? There is a specific version of performative spending that is unique to freelancers, and I want to name it clearly because I have watched it unfold in my daughter's creative community. It is the success performance problem. Many freelancers spend money performing the appearance of success before they have built actual financial security under the belief that looking successful will attract better clients and higher rates. There is a small kernel of truth in this. Presentation does matter. But there is a canyon between professional credibility and lifestyle inflation dressed up as marketing. A professional website, a reliable computer, a quiet space for client calls. These are functional investments in your professional image. They deliver real value. A $3,000 camera used only for social media aesthetics. A business class flight to a local client meeting. Branded merchandise nobody asked for. These are performative. The most financially successful independent professionals I have observed do not spend money to look successful. They spend money to be effective. The results create the credibility. The identity reframe. Here is an exercise drawn from behavioral finance research that I have found genuinely useful. For 1 month, deliberately identify as someone who is quietly building serious long-term wealth. Quietly. That word is doing a lot of work. The quietly wealthy freelancer does not need external purchase signals. Their validation comes from a different source: the balance growing in their retirement account, the emergency fund that makes slow months survivable, the knowledge that they are on a trajectory that most of their peers are not. When the internal question shifts from, "Does this purchase make me look like I have the life I want?" to, "Does this purchase move me closer to the life I actually want?" spending patterns transform entirely. Here is your action step. This week, review your last 3 months of non-essential purchases above $50. For each one, assign F for functional, J for joyful, or P for performative. Add up the P column. That total redirected monthly to your solo 401k is the clearest picture of what performative spending is costing your future. Here is the line. The difference between looking rich and being rich is that one of them requires an audience and the other does not. Drop a comment. What is one honest P purchase, a performative purchase, you have made in the last year? This is one of the most important videos on this channel. Share it with a freelancer in your network who needs to hear it. Subscribe to Freelancer Retirement Lab. Stay tuned for the next video.